Hello and welcome back to this video series of PHP tutorials, or this PHP course. This is video 3, and today we're going to do something very cool, because we're going to start implementing functionality to our imaginary website. Okay, so imagine you're trying to create a blog and you want users to subscribe to your newsletter. Okay, well, and you're going to give them the options to set their name and put their email. And when they click, ta-da, magic happens. So how are we going to do this? Well, let me delete that because we'll explain that later. Well, for now we're actually not going to create like a subscription, database, because we haven't covered all of that, but we are going to do something very cool. So we have to go and explain forms first. The first thing we need to learn is what this action thing means. What action means is that when the person that submits here, they click on here, so when they click on the submit button, where are they going to be redirected? Okay, so to do that, what we can do is we're going to have to create a new file, whatever you want. So we have to create the same folder path as the other file, and we can create it welcome.php. Okay, so now here in action we can do welcome.php. So every time they submit this form, so now when we submit this form, we're going to go to welcome.php. okay, so let's go back here. So that works. So we're saying, okay, every time they click into here, submit the form into this page, which is welcome.php. So let's write down here some tags, HTML. Well, we don't have to. Let's just write down an h1 tag and say, hello, thank you for subscribing. I probably didn't spell it right, but hey, look. So now let's refresh. So when I click here, we're gonna send me to this file, which is welcome.php. Okay, we have some cool functionality going on, don't we? So the next thing we have to go into in our index.php is a method. Use a method. There's two types of method, okay, which I'm going to write down here. Well, there's more, but to send information, there's normally two, which is post and get. The main thing about post is that it's private, so it's hidden. I'll explain that later. And get is visible. Whoops, that's supposed to be an equal sign. Visible. So what this means is, if we want to send information over get, okay, you can actually put it in, it's not case sensitive, so you can put it either way. What get means is that we're sending information in a visible way. So this is very handy when you're trying to do some sort of sorting thing. So when you're in a website and you want to sort items by list, because if you say, oh, sort by item is equal to true, that means you can really show that, can't you? Because there's no hidden information. But you wouldn't use get for like logging in or passwords, and I'll explain that in a second. And post is something more secure, which means that it's not visible to anyone. So you post it in a secure matter, and it's used for forms, and everyone really uses post unless it's something like, something that it can be shown and it doesn't really matter. Also, get has a limit of 2000 characters. So limit 2000 characters when a post doesn't. So now that we know that, I'm actually going to leave it there. Let's just use get for a second, okay? Because, why not? I will use post myself in here, but let's just get and see what happens. So let's reload the page. That's something we just wrote. And we're going to say name Carlino and email carlino@carlino.com. So let's click subscribe me. And because we use the get method in here, right, we can see here that on our URL, we're saying username is equal to Carlino and user email is equal to Carlino %4t, which is an encode for @carlino.com. So this is what I mean when using get. Your information will be sent through a link, and this is why it's useful to use get when you're sorting things, because you've probably seen in websites something like sort by date is equal to true, and blah blah blah, different things. So that's useful because they can bookmark that URL, and the next time they go into your website, they're going to see your they're going to see exactly the information sorted in the way they bookmarked it. In the post, okay, let's just go back to here. If we post things, right, as you can see, let me reload, put the name is that and email is that, nothing is going to be shown. Okay, so that's more secure for emails and passwords and some other sort of information. So let's just post, okay, for this, because what's the point of showing the name and the email? There's no really point for this, is there? So we're going to use post. So now we have here an input of site text, and then name is going to be username, and that's what we saw in the link before, and name here is user email. So I'll tell you what this is useful in a second. Let's delete that, because I suppose you know what it is, and let's go to welcome.php. Instead of just saying hello, thank you for subscribing, we might want to be a bit more friendly and show something else. So maybe we can just open a PHP tag, and you're gonna love this. Whoops, PHP. I'm gonna close it, and let's just echo their name, echo, and you'll understand this in a second. Sorry, there's a little underscore in there. Whoops, my fault. Echo post username. So let's reload this and see what happens. Name Carlino, email blah blah blah, subscribing. Oh, hello Carlino, thank you for subscribing. So what's happening here? What we're saying now is, please create this form with this number of items, and whatever the user inputs, when they click subscribe, send this information to this website here, to welcome.php, send it to this website, and in here we're going to be able to access it through this variable called post. This is what we call a super global variable, and it's a hash table, which has another term in PHP, but for now we're going to call it hash table, and you understand this in a little bit why I'm calling it this way. Which will also say thank you for subscribing with the email of, and then we open PHP. Don't know why the auto oh Jesus. Well, we open the PHP tags with the email of, echo, and with the exact same post user email. So let's see what happened. Cancel. Let's go back to our form, and we say Carlino at carlino.com. And I will say, hello Carlino, thank you for subscribing with the email of carlino at carlino.com. The exact same thing would happen if we call this variable get. But we also have to do this, we have to do something different. We have to say, okay, Carlino, and nothing is going to show, and that is because we sent here through the method post instead of get. So let's change that back to get. Let's reload that. Well, let's go back, let's reload it, and there we go. And as you can see, our name and our email is on the link. So those are the main differences when sending via a get or via post. And I'm telling you that most of the times you're going to be sending information via post, but again, there might be some times when you want to show it in the link for certain situations that we'll learn in the future. So I hope this video was useful. It's a bit long, but for now we're gonna have to, you know, deal with this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.